aka Eileen the Little Crafter. Additional information about arts, costuming, everything in between. My podcast show and the Little Crafter Show, which is on YouTube, can be found on my website, EileenTheLittleCrafter.com. Alrighty, guys. If my voice sounds different and I sound funny, or meaning I pronounce the words funny, please excuse me. I'm having a really bad toothache, and being the professional that I am, hopefully somewhat, I I don't have any shows available that I could just link up, which I have to start doing, but that's for another whatchamacallit. Anyway, guys, so yes, so I'm just in a lot of not I'm in a lot of pain on and off, working through it, but it is what it is. So anyway, guys, so today's show is all about the fall anime. Um, I know that the hype seems to be about um, Black Clover, and I watched a video about it, and um, I think it was called What's Trending in Japan by Techosaurus, I think. I'll link his channel down below. It's What's Trending in Japan, and I have to say I really love that channel. I'm going to give him a huge shout out today, because he actually kind of reminded me that, the animes, full anime should be coming around. I've given up on, not given up, but I haven't been watching anime as of late. I've been watching more of Netflix in terms of live action stuff, giving into, my superhero side of me that loves the comic books. But I don't read the comic books, so I like, watching the animated versions and the live action versions. So I've been given into that kind of a kick as of late. So yeah, let me just try and put this. Sorry about that. In a much better and more comfortable spot. So I gave in, and I watched like maybe about 5 minutes of Black Clover, and I have to say that he was extremely right about listening to one of the main characters screaming, and I don't know, I may have to try and sit through it again and see what it's all about. Like, it was just really annoying. I guess it did the same thing about Naruto, and that's what basically everybody's kind of saying, that it kind of reminds them of that it's like the next Naruto. I don't know. And honestly, I haven't finished watching Naruto, so I haven't watched Boruto. So we shall see what's going on in the near future. If I continue to at least accept to watch that. With that being said, I did find a few anime that I can honestly say that will seem to pique my interest. And one I didn't even know existed, and it has a lot of episodes already, so I don't know if it started in late summer and is continuing and during the fall during the fall season. But this one has been on and off, and I've been waiting for the episodes, and I'm sure you guys have been waiting too. I've been waiting for The Ancient Mariner's Bride. So basically, they give you the kind of prequel of the Mariner. I always forget I forget her name. Oh my goodness. The Mariner's Bride. That's what I'm going to call her right now. I should have put down her name, because they give you basically about, I think it's about 3 backstories about her life before she came to live with the mariner, or the magician. They give you that, and now they seem to be going into when she came there and how she came to be. It's really cool, and I'm really looking forward to that. This is the one that I was talking to you about that I didn't know. It has like about 14 or 15 episodes. It's called The Elegant yokai apartment. I'm not a huge fan of comedy, as you guys know. Slice of life is but I really enjoyed this anime. It has a lot of different elements in it. It has mystery, suspense, slice of life, a little bit of comedy. Some of it is a little overdone, and I'm like, oh, really? Um, but in a whole, I really, 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 really like it. I mean, some of the characters are a little over the top. Um, but I like it. I really do. It's basically about a young man who lost his parents, um, and basically became a shut-in until his friend, actually someone he met from school, reached out to him and broke out of his shell. And it's basically like a coming of age story. He comes into this apartment and doesn't realize that it's an apartment building for humans and yokai, and they share the apartment, and it's really good. I mean, he gets to eat these amazing dishes from one of the ghosts that lived there. She um, unfortunately passed away before she could realize her dream. So now living in this apartment building, she cooks for everybody, and it makes her really happy. It's really cool. It's kind of funny and sad at the same time. Well, technically sad and funny at the same time. Not that she had passed away, but um, just I think that her interactions, only because, and I'm sorry for this, spoiler alert, the only thing that they were able to find were her hands, and so she floats around like with just her arms, and that's why I'm kind of saying it's funny. Her backstory isn't funny; it's very tragic, and but she gets to actually fulfill her dream in doing this for the in the yokai apartment. Um, so like I said, it's a coming of age story. This young man is basically going into high school. The dorm had burned down where he was gonna live. Before then, his parents had passed away. He was living with his uncle and aunt and his cousin, and it just was not a really good situation for him, because he was really cut off, and he was hurt, and nobody reached out to him until his best friend reached out for him. Well, the guy was a total stranger at that point, but then he slowly became out of his shell a little bit, and then later on, he becomes more and more and interacting with the yokai and the humans, and the humans of the mystical world, and learning from that. And it's a really good story, and I highly recommend it if you like a little bit of comedy, slice of life. It's not really doesn't have like a really connected dots kind of story. Each episode has its own little tale, meaning, and you get a backstory sometimes of each character. So it's really worth it. I really enjoy it. Where are we now? I actually thought this anime was coming out in the summer. I was looking for it and looking for it and looking for it, and lo and behold, it's coming out in the fall, and that is Blood Blockade Battlefront. And I think there's another title to it, but this is season 2. Holy camole. Season 2, I have to say, started off with the most funniest, ridiculous episode ever, but you know what, it works. It really works, and I'm just sitting there going, okay, what is going on? Like, really? Like, yeah, but I don't know, I just was like, okay, I guess after having such a huge, because they kind of started off in the beginning like that, and I wasn't too sure if I was gonna watch it. I was intrigued by the name, like, what is it all about? And then when I read the storyline, I was like, okay, this sounds very interesting about, how basically, or demons, or, forgot, Lazarus Pit, or, what is another name? Can't remember. Lazarus, no, not the Lazarus Pit, anyways, basically, the demon world, the veil between the demon world and the human world is basically exploded in New York City. And a lot of weird things happen, and there's one organization, Leviathan, that basically helps out. So this time around, the first episode, they're helping the president, so that was pretty interesting. And if you guys, I'm not gonna spoil it for you because it's just really, dog, seriously. I hope you guys don't hear this noise. I am apologizing. I've tried to find the quietest place in the place that I live in, and they're doing construction. There's noise in the front, there's noise in the back. It's just, and then they started the construction again. It's like, really, Anyways, moving along. So yeah, I'm not gonna give away the plot for this one. This is really cool. Oh, I think also in this one you get to see a new move, like a new battle move, from the head leader. So that was pretty interesting. It was kind of gross and interesting at the same time, but I'm gonna leave it alone now. Alrighty, so this one, it's called Cold Realize, Guardian of Rebirth. Okay, so basically, these guys, I guess, have been branded as bad guys, but they look like they're wanting to help good guys. They all have like a backstory of why they do what they do, and they come across, I guess, some intel. Some intel about a young lady. Oh, I love my pumpkin spice coffee. Need that little pick me up. So like I said, basically they come across a young lady who is living in a castle by herself, and she has within her body some type of poison, and she doesn't know why, and she was called a monster by her father and told that she has to live by herself. So yeah, so that's basically the whole premise as of right now, of the story, and I guess they're gonna go about finding out why or who. They already know who her father is, and why does the Queen of Victoria in a kind of steampunk London want to have her. So that's about that. Alrighty, so Garo, 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 The Vanishing Line. I hope that I'm pronouncing that line. No, line. Vanishing Line. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. This one basically kind of reminds me a little bit of I think that he reminds me of what character? It kind of reminds me of actually two characters. It has the vibe. I think this is. Was it Coyote? Oh, Coyote something, and the Devil May Cry kind of series. He's the reason why I say it kind of reminds me of that is because the way he's drawn and the way he talks, his mannerisms kind of remind me of that. The bike that he has is kind of Devil May Cry, and the bike talks. So I mean, that's the kind of vibe it's giving me. And FYI, if you don't like to watch or you don't want to watch, let the kiddies watch anime that are a little on the risque side. I mean, it's not totally risque, but they do give some hints of overly exposed cleavage, and he's thanking the gods, for being alive for seeing this, and some other little things here and there. But just a heads up. I mean, this one seems pretty interesting. Basically, it's in a city where nobody. I mean, it seems like a great city, but in the background there's a lot of things going on, and these knights basically have to protect everyone from these baddies, and they're on this particular knight is on a quest along with a young girl looking for a city called El Dorado. So that's the premise of that one. This one, I actually was surprised that they came out with another version of this one. Because honestly, I was a little confused whether Kino was a woman or a man in the last one. Um, but that's just me. Maybe I missed something. Mm. But this one, Kino is a guy. It's called Kino's Journey, The Beautiful World, the animated series. And basically, Kino is on a journey. He only stays 3 days in a certain town. And he learns that 3 days was only enough. I mean, excuse me. 3 days is enough time to learn about the cultures, the people, and the land of each town that he visits. Some are good, some are bad, some teach, other things. It's a journey, and sometimes, the stories really don't connect like the other one. It's just basically kind of he goes on these journeys. So, and the first one I have to say was kind of confusing, but kind of not. I don't know. I may have to rewatch it again. I kind of think I got the gist of it, but I just, it was a little, and it was very interesting. A very interesting, first episode, and I like this one. So if you don't like stories that have like, connecting plots or whatever, and you're like, I guess kind of like slice of life, there's a little bit of humor in there, life lessons, I think that basically that's what slice of life is, and good storytelling and good drawing. I think that this one would be up your alley. Zodiac Wars, I have to say this was very interesting. So basically every 12 years there is a tournament being held, and at that point these 12 individuals with zodiac names come together, and they have a all-out brawl in which this organization clears out a city, and they are granted basically any wish that they want, the winner. Before then they have to swallow a poison, so whoever so basically they get two prizes. They get to keep their life, and they also get whatever they wish for. So that is the premise of that one. This one, I think, is going to be probably one of the most Zodiac War. I think that it's going to be one of my favorites. I think. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know as of yet. I see some clear-cut winners, and we'll see when, winter time comes around. Because that's when some animes, fall animes seem to wind down. The King's Game, it seems like it's gonna take place more in a modern, time. The other one, the manga, actually seems like it takes place during a, what is that? Not a city, but medieval time era. I'm gonna read that. I'm seriously gonna read that, and I know that it's on Crunchyroll. Ooh, this tooth is killing me, people. So I'm gonna see and do a little bit more research. I was interested in reading that one. I don't read a lot of manga, but and maybe I should start, but we shall see. Anyway, so the King's Games is basically kind of a really gory mystery game, that if you do not play or abide by the rules of the king, which he sends through via text, you get killed. So someone already in this group had played the game. He won it because he was the only one alive, and has to play it again, and his new classmates don't believe that, that this is real, and that, he's just a psychopath, and they learned the hard way, the first episode. I think it was, how many that died? I think it was like 10 or 15, maybe less, in the first episode, so they kind of narrowed the group down So it kind of makes sense in a way because it was a really huge big class. I forgot how many in the class. And then so they narrowed it down so that they can have like a core group, which makes it easier, I guess, for the plot. And then so you can follow along. And then at this point, the main character is like, okay, this is serious. The King's Game has started, and he realizes that he gotta buckle down and do what he gotta do to survive this one, and maybe help his fellow classmates survive as well. Because he had moved away, I guess, from the town, and I kind of don't blame him, but we shall see. I kind of feel like it has like a little bit of a vibe of and there was another really good anime that kind of reminded me of it, but the name really eludes me, and I was looking through the anime list, and I'm like, what's the name? Oh, but the only one that I can think of right now is Another, which is another good one if you guys haven't caught that one. I hear they actually have like a movie, which I'm really disappointed that it's not going to be released in the States. Basically, it's about the twin sisters, and yeah. So, anyways, and I guess how she got her eye and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, long story short, that is my list of my fall anime. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this list. If you guys have watched the full complete episode of Black Clover, please let me know what you like, if you liked it or if you agree with me. Was it really hard to watch? And I will give like I said, put a link down to I think it's Tetsusaurus. I always forget his name, the YouTube name, but it's really good. It's what's trending in Japan. He does a lot of good reviews, and he was the one that was talking to me. So technically, I was like, oh. And then I started to see that, there was more anime out there. So I started, kind of getting my my mojo back for watching anime. But I'm also going to be looking into a lot of new Netflix originals. I'm super excited that there are going to be a lot more originals, not in terms of just anime, but live action series as well, and what I've been watching, like Arrow, things like that. My review on that. I mean, I know that I'm late in the seasons or whatever the case may be. I wasn't interested when it first started, but that's okay. I mean, hey, better late than never, I guess. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day and night and evening or whatever, whenever you leave, or have an awesome week. And thank you so much for watching, and bye for now. Oh, wait. Hold on. Really quick. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Or if you want to email me, please email me at brain damage. Eileen@EileenTheLittleCrafter.com. Thank you so much again, and bye for now.